Okay, so this is my little update. Charlie is now 6 days old. I literally do not know where that time has gone. I'm feeling really good in myself. The baby blues hit at around day 4, yeah, something like that. And I was just crying for like pretty much no reason apart from the breastfeeding, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, so everything's going okay other than a few little snags along the way. I'm feeling right in myself though. Other than like the baby blues, I'm not feeling like depressed or anything, or like not able to cope. I'm coping really well, and I'm feeling totally different to how like before I had Harry, when I had Harry. So yeah, it's all good. So I want to say a big thank you to two ladies in particular, Sam and Naomi. They have helped me with breastfeeding so much. I've just been messaging them like non-stop on Facebook, so thank you so much for them and all your advice. And also thank you to all my viewers and all the people that have commented and given us lovely comments, and it's just been so lovely. So yeah, let's talk about Charlie. So he is 6 days old today, and his labour, I'll go into his labour in my birth story, but it was really awful. It was totally different to Harry's. Harry's was, I was 10 days overdue, and I had a sweep at 8 days over, so then it took me a day to go into labour. I laboured for about 7 hours, and it was just kind of like continuous. So the pains didn't get any worse, and they just sort of steadily progressed to like 8 minutes apart, 4 minutes apart, 3 minutes apart, 2 minutes apart type thing. With Charlie's labour, it lasted 4 hours. They went from, I had to have a pessary, and then they went from 10 minutes apart to about 2 to 3 minutes apart, and then I dilated from 4 centimetres to fully dilated in 1 hour, so it was really intense. But I'll go into all that in my birth story. But that's just a little sort of what happened. So breastfeeding, I think, is the main thing. When I delivered him, I had a graze again. Now with Harry, I had 2 grazes. This time I had 1 graze, but it was higher up, so it wasn't as bad. So I just like smothered myself in Vaseline, and it hasn't seemed to be too bad since. So that's fine. What else? I think it's just the breastfeeding, I think, that's really... My womb was contracting a lot down every time I breastfed, and kind of continuously throughout days like 1, 2 and 3. But then like it's settled down a lot now, so... And also my bleeding's come to not a complete stop, but like it's reduced a lot. So yeah, the breastfeeding is definitely something that we are not struggling with, but I was struggling with before. And in fact, because I had a bad latch, my nipples have cracked. So I've got some of this, which I'm hoping will do the job. And we also went out yesterday and bought a Medela, if I can open it, nipple shield. So they look like this, and they're very, very good. I would recommend them to anyone who has cracked nipples and is really sore. So yeah, I will get him for you in just a second because I bet you can't wait to see him. The main thing at the moment is, with breastfeeding, is feeling so engorged all the time. I'm feeding him every 2 hours during the day, and normally 2 hours at night, but last night he went from 10 o'clock, this is when I finished feeding him at 10, to midnight, then again at 4, then again I had to wake him up at 7, so that was like a really good night. But the past few nights it's been like midnight, 2, 4, 6, 8 type thing. So, but I'm feeling the relief every time he does feed every 2 hours, because obviously my boobs are so big and they're so engorged. So if I turn to the side, you'll be able to see how big they are. On me, I feel so top heavy. Before I got pregnant with Harry, I was a 32A. When I got pregnant with Charlie, I was a 32B, and now I'm a 34 double D, so it's really, really quite heavy on me. But yeah, I'm feeling really good. I will show you my stomach. It's not pretty, but this is 5 days past past giving birth. You can see all my little marks here from where I got stretch marks in the last few weeks. But yeah, so he was actually due on the 22nd, but then I had a sweep early, and then I had my waters go really early. So then they had to induce me, and then I explained that on the other videos that I made. So yeah, I'm just going to go and get him, and then I'll introduce you to him. Okay, so this is Charlie Oliver. We are now, we're about day 6 now. He is looking a little bit jaundiced. The health visitor did see him yesterday. And there he is. Say hiya. I'll just unswaddle him for you so you can see how big he is. He was 35 centimetre head circumference, and I can't remember how long he was, but I just can't believe like how tiny he is. He's so cute. So cute. He's due a feed now anyway, so it's good that we're getting him up. Yeah. Here he is. Say hiya. I'm literally so in love with him, it's unreal. But yeah, so we had a few bad latchings, and it has made me a bit sore, but I'm hoping that I will heal up quite quickly, and then I'll be able to get a better latch, sort of without it feeling too bad. So, and I think you're hungry. See, I never understood when I had Harry. They never actually said to me like putting their hands in their mouth and stuff means that they're hungry. So I'd always wait until he cried, and then it'd obviously be too late because he'd be like so like that I'd never be able to latch him on properly. But this time we're doing quite well. So yeah. Oh no! I'll just latch him on and I'll be back in a minute. I found I've got a really good latch technique now. When I went to see my midwife on, it was yesterday, I said that I was sore kind of more on this side, and she said like literally get his, like obviously put his hands, my hands like where they are, and then get him to open his mouth like as wide as possible, and just wait and wait and wait until he gets that really wide mouth, and then just like get him on as quick as possible. And when she did it, I was so surprised like at how fast she brought him on. And she said you got to like really like press him in there and make sure that he like draws your nipple right to the back of his throat. So like now I'm feeding him and it's absolutely painless, because this is my better side obviously, where it's less sore. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do this better on this side, and then I'll, you know, heal a bit, but obviously use my nipple shields and that. But yeah, so it's going good. It's going alright now. Like I said, I did have those few weepy moments. I think it was like day 4 in the evening. He'd literally been feeding for like 3 solid hours, like on and off. And I was like, oh my god, like, because one of the midwives said to me, if he's still crying and like if he's still unsettled, he needs feeding, and if he's got like his hands in his mouth and stuff, he's still hungry, so just keep feeding him until he's drunk. So that was good advice, I liked that. And also my auntie said whenever, you know, they cry, most of the time it is for hunger. It's like a little baby lamb, like a little baby lamb would cry for milk, so then it would get milk. So you got to feed your little baby lamb. So yeah, everything's going alright, other than like my cracked nipples. You know, everything's going really well. Harry's not too jealous. He has started to be a little bit, I remember saying about him like getting changed by himself and that. He can do that, but he, sometimes it would be like, oh, I'm too tired, or oh, I can't remember how to do it, or, you know, all of that. And now it's becoming more apparent that he's being more like that. So like in the mornings he'll be like, oh, I can't do it, I need your help, and things like this. But, you know, we'll put like his socks on for him, and we'll help like take his Velcro off his shoes. But he's pretty good, like he does know how to put his shoes on, and he does know how to put all his clothes on, but he's just trying it on, so we don't let him get away with that. because it's really helpful now that he's so independent. So yeah. But yeah, everything's going really well. I just want to say another big thank you to Nikki. She sent me a lovely card and a Babies R Us voucher, which was so naughty of her, and I will be telling her off later. But yeah, everything's going really well, guys. Thank you so much for all your messages. I will be doing my birth story, obviously. I can't wait to tell you all about it. Obviously, the main pointers were the fact that it was awful and it hurt a lot more than Harry's labour. I don't know, I think it was because I was induced and I had the pessary. And just putting the pessary in was so uncomfortable. And then, you know, I was only a few hours in and I was only 2 centimetres and oh my god, like, it was awful. It was literally like the worst day of my life and then the best day of my life all at the same time. And as you saw on the video, and I don't know if you heard, but on the video I was like, shit, that hurts so much. And it was just the worst pain I've ever been in my life. It was just, compared to Harry's labour, maybe because I was in the water it was a little bit different, but I'm glad I had 2 different labours now so I can like compare the two. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for all your lovely comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye ladies!